Good morning, Turfs Up Radio. Wayne Bowles, Profits Unlimited, coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky. Yes, indeedy. Oh my, we got another good start to a day today. A little bit cloudy out there, but warm. Expecting a little bit of rain to come rolling through here, but hey, we are out doing our thing. Hopefully, you're out doing your thing, making a little money today. It's what it's all about, right? Let's do it. Let's see what we can do to make a little bit of money and put a few profit dollars in the bank and have a good day. So, yeah, we're doing a little bit of landscaping, a little bit of paver work today, and some fall fertilizing and flyers going door to door on accounts that we're servicing today and the adjoining neighbors, as well as we got a neighborhood targeted that we're doing some hand flyers in. So for holiday lighting, and we're looking forward to that and what that's going to bring along down the road for us. Looking for some more residential lighting is what that's all about. So yeah, that's what's going on here today at WLS. Be curious to know what you guys got going. I know Seth is hard at it down there working away. He sent me a text of a layout that they're getting ready to install. Had the plants laid out and everything, bed cut out and ready to rock and roll on that. So, Seth, good luck on that. If you're listening to us, my friend, I'm anxious to see the finished product on that. So, yeah, send that to us, Seth, if you would. Hey, my tooth is, for you guys, is under control. I've been taking some antibiotic since Monday. So got my tooth under control a little bit. We're going to get a root canal on Tuesday. There you go. I'm sharing my medical with y'all. But yeah, so we'll report in next Wednesday and see how it goes. Hopefully they got me feeling well enough to get back to talking Wednesday. But yeah, looking forward to that. And oh, I don't know about that, Mike. I'm sure he still loves you, man. Old Mike Murphy said Seth must like you better than me. He didn't text him. So, hey, maybe he's keeping it secret till it's done. He wants to show you how good it is when it's completed. So, we're looking forward to that. We're actually going over to, we got one of our customers that we do quite a bit of work for. Going to do he's getting the deck renovation done, and we just got his holiday lights up the other day for him. And we're going over there and going to put some landscape lighting up on the deck and get that squared away. So, and then he's going to finish his deck, and then we're going to do the rest of the landscape lighting. So, for him, we'll get that done, later on. But they're kind of like in a transition of, hey, here's what we can get done. So that's get our lights in on the deck. Then they're going to finish the deck and. Da, 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 da. So everything should be absolutely wonderful with that. So that's what we got going on. Yeah. Seth, appreciate you, man. And Mike, appreciate you listening. And hopefully we got more than you two listening out there this morning. And looking forward to y'all's feedback. We got a very special guest going to hop on with us today. Tim Wasmer with SnowScapes. In about 6-7 minutes, he's going to hop on with us and talk about their product. And, I've had him on my show in the past about a year ago, and how it's that time of the season. And I'm going to just save that and see what they've done, new additions to their software. And we'll talk to Tim about that. Speaking about snowflakes, yeah. That's funny, Mike. Mike said I may or may not lose a tooth. He's got a hockey game tonight at 8, so we'll see. Speaking of Tim Wasmer, there he is. So, hey, let's go ahead and get this phone answered and get him on going live with us. Tim, how you doing this morning, my friend? You're live here on Turfs Up Radio.
Hey, Wayne, it's Tim Wasmer calling. How we doing?
Awesome, man. I appreciate you calling in this morning and looking forward to a great conversation with you about the product.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. I was just talking about hey, it looks like first flakes of the season might be rolling in for a lot of us, right? Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's what they're saying in my area. At least sounds like we might have some stuff this weekend. We're dropping down to I think they're saying in the mid 20s up here. So
yeah. Well, hey, we'll see. We'll see how it pans out, right? We'll know Tuesday.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll know Tuesday. But yeah, I was just getting some information from our weather guys there at BAM, and yeah, it looks like it might be a little bit of snow in a big part of the Midwest and East a little bit too. So we'll see what happens. That's early for us. What about you?
I mean, we always seem to have something, in the late October, November, at least some flakes flying. Whether or not it requires treatment's a whole other story, right? But
Right. Yeah.
a
True.
couple of years ago, we had a snowy Halloween, so it happened.
Yeah, we got a picture actually. We keep up down here on our file cabinet of one year. It was October 30th, and it was one of those grass snows, where you didn't
Yeah.
get to do anything, but grass and car tops and roofs and stuff like that. We had a little over an inch, I think it was,
Those
but
are always good because they light a fire under people's butts to actually finally sign their snow contract. Those people that
yeah,
are,
it's like, oh yeah, I better prepare a little bit for this, right? Yeah,
yeah,
but
they got
hey, I appreciate you getting on with us, and for you guys that have not heard Tim here on my show before, Tim is a commercial contractor, just like you and I. He's got about 25 years of industry experience and 20 years owning his own business, give or take little bit of time in there, but they started developing their software, SnowScapes, about 5 years ago. And without further ado, I'm gonna get into talking to Tim about that. If you guys have any questions on their product as we go, feel free to reach out to us. You guys know how to get a hold of us. And but if you're a contractor that's managing snow and ice events, let me say this: you know how critical it is for the documentation, the route tracking, proof of service, all those things that we're doing the hard way a lot of times. And when I say the hard way, I'll let Tim tell you the easy way. But if you're doing it, on paper, or you got these convoluted spreadsheets you're trying to keep up with, and do it in your truck, though, they've come up with a lot easier and more efficient way of doing it. And especially from a liability and efficiency standpoint, I think that's where you look at Snowscapes as potentially helping you. So, Tim, without further ado, man, let's talk a little bit about your product, and let's start off with man. Well, what provided the inspiration, I guess we'll call it, right, to create Snowscapes, and what gap
yeah,
did you guys want to, fill with Snowscapes?
yeah. So I mean, like you said, we have our own operations here up in Michigan. We're in the Metro Detroit area, kind of service all of really southeast Michigan. And over the years, we do I do landscape install, some landscape maintenance, and then commercial snow, like you said. So we've used other software. We've used just Google Sheets. We've used pen and paper. We've used um, some of the big box ones, the Elements, the Jobbers of the world. We've worked with some national companies, that have their own apps. And every time we use it, it just was like, it doesn't have everything we need. And then we started paying for some of those big box ones, and they just kept raising their rates and raising their rates and raising their rates. And we're
Yeah,
like, all right, at this point, what are we paying for and what are we getting out of this? They're not lining up. So we're like, let's start doing something ourselves. So we found a developer through some connections and started working with a freelance developer to make something for ourselves. We then used a few subcontractors on it as well, and everyone loved it. So we're like, you know what? This is filling that need. It's filling that something that's economical, something that's easy, and something that's saving us time and money. And then it just kind of went from there. So, like you said, it was about 5 years ago that we did that. First season or two, we kind of just did it for ourselves and our subcontractors. And then a little over 2 years ago, maybe about 3 years ago now, actually, we went live with selling it as a subscription-based service for anyone in the world really to use. So that's kind of where it started and where we are now. And we keep adding features. We keep, listening to feedback.
I was going to say, I
I,
can imagine, since you and I first talked about it, I think it was 2 years ago now.
yeah,
You've had to made quite a few updates with it for sure, just from feedback, right?
yeah. Feedback, not only from other people, but like I said, we use it every day.
Yeah,
So our crew is telling us, our subcontractors are telling us, we have a direct line to probably 100 people,
yeah,
use every single day. So, hey, this glitched out on me. Oh, yep. All right. We'll get that fixed right away. We don't even need to wait for a customer to call us and complain. We
yeah.
see about it, see it ourselves, and it's fixed within minutes.
And for somebody that hasn't been involved in the conversation, and that's what we'll talk about it that way today, if that's all right with you, Tim, like it's
yeah, absolutely.
brand new. What's a quick overview of what it actually does and during a snow event? And then, because I know it's used outside snow too, but we'll talk about that later on. But during a snow event, how does it work, if you will, number one? And then what are you eliminating for people by if they implement this during a snow event, or
Yeah.
prior to?
So, yep. So in a quick overview from start to finish, you create an account, you download the app. There's a desktop version, so you can manage all of your stuff on a computer or a tablet for that matter. A little bit easier, on a website login where you get a bigger screen. We actually added a new site map feature, so you can take measurements and create a map of a property. Put all the information in for the properties. Once you have all your properties input, then you can put them in a route. So if we also have a optimizing feature. So if hey, these 15 properties are going to go on to this guy's route, he's going to start and end at our shop. You can put that all into the system, hit optimize, and it's going to tell you how Google thinks is the fastest way to drive that. And it's going to give you your drive time and all of that. So once you create your routes, you do that, by however many routes and properties you have. There are ways to bulk import and stuff too if you have hundreds and hundreds of properties. But once you get all that in, you have your routes created, then your crews in a given snowstorm, again, same thing for a lawn mowing day, a landscape day, whatever. They clock in, come to the shop, they clock in, they can clock in for their hours right on the app. We'll keep track of their payroll hours. And then it'll have their route listed right there. And they just click on what route there is theirs for the day or for that snowstorm or whatever it may be. If they're salting, shoveling, plowing, whatever, they hit start and it's going to start tracking their time and where they are and what they do. When they log each property, they'll record pictures, what services they did. It's then going to save a report, timestamp it, geotag it, and send an email out, as well as keep the documentation within the system for you to create reports. And
Now, when you say it sends an email out, does that email come back to you as the operations manager, of the snow service that a company's providing, or does it go out to the client, or can you set it up to do both, or how
you
does
can
that
set
work?
it up to go to whatever email address you want it to. So it's property by property specific. So if you want it to just go to an office email for you, you can. If you want it to go to a client, that's, the property manager, the property owner, the homeowner, whatever it is, you can set that up. And if you don't have anyone you want to send an email to, you don't have to. That's just an added feature there. We use that a lot, especially in snow. We're often servicing in the middle of the night. And
Right.
then we all know that 7 a.m. rolls around. People aren't in their office yet, but they're calling you saying, hey, was my snow done? I have a meeting and clients coming in at 7:15. Is it done yet? Where you eliminate all those phone calls and because they wake up to an email that says, yep, it was.
They got an email and you don't have to get the phone call. Where you at? Have you been there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It
Oh my
saves
God.
that.
I swear
Yeah.
one day I want to get a shirt made up that says, where you at?
Yep.
Where you at? Where you at?
And SnowScape answers that. So not only does it answer by the email, but like you alluded to, in real time, when your guys are out in the field plowing, and you want to know, hey, where is, truck number 2? Where are they at in their route? Instead of calling them, texting them, where you at? What's going on? What have you done?
Yeah.
You can look at right on the dashboard in the active route section, and it will not only show what they've done, it'll have a list of their properties and check marks by the ones that are completed. If they're currently servicing one, it will note that they're servicing that, when they started that, and it'll show where they are located on a map. So you can see all of your guys in real time where they're located.
I leave with a route, right? Okay. And I'm on a real time tracker, basically, right? If I'm hearing you right.
And exactly.
Okay. The documentation is, as we know, is a big thing in snow and ice management for a lot of reasons. I'm sure we'll touch base on that, but, I pull up on a site. I'm using SnowScapes. What's my procedure? What happens? Do I go onto my phone and say, okay, I'm here? And how does the software prompt me, or do I just simply go in? How's it go from that point? Once I arrive at the site, what's the software do for me?
Yeah, once you arrive at your first site, or even before you arrive to your first site, you click the first one you're going to. It has the address, the site map, all the stuff right there that you're going to be servicing. You can click on the address and it will give you directions if you need to. And then once you get there, once you start that property, there's just a green button that says start.
So on that site map, then I've got pictures attached. If I took pictures of the property, I upload them to that particular site. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yep. Yep. So you hit.
So I know where the snow goes. I know where not to plow, or what gets plowed first if it's that type of facility.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And that's our new site map feature, where not only can you take measurements of a property, but you can mark it up, color, so you can say parking lot, you can say municipal sidewalks, you can say building sidewalks, you can say snow piles go here. Here's a fire hydrant, don't pile snow here. You can add notes, you can put arrows saying plow snow in this direction. You can do whatever you want on that map as the admin, and then that map that you created will show up on your guy's phone when they clock into that property. So even if they've never been there, never done a walkthrough, they can look at that map as detailed as you make it and know exactly what they need to do.
It sounds like you've made it easy, man, from that standpoint, for sure. Getting there for the drivers or the subcontractors, whoever's doing the property.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right? Because you never know how many audible call in a snowstorm.
That is true.
Truck breaks down, machine breaks down. So now someone new is plowing that property for the first time, and you haven't had the chance to do a walkthrough with them. Well, you need to have some sort of information, right?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, we've done it the hard way in the past, and that's with a book. I mean, book and pictures. That's what we hauled around.
Yeah. And now that's right on your phone.
Now it's right on your phone, and now this is going to sound crazy, and it's got nothing to do with the software, but from a reception standpoint of, does a person have to have internet for this to work, or what's driving the software on their phone? Is it their long as they've got cell services is working?
Yep. Yeah. It's cell service.
Okay.
It is, something that's kind of a bigger on our, laundry list of wish list, to be able to figure out a way to make it work without cell service. I mean, if you lose cell service for a little bit, not going to be the end of the world. But if you have no cell service from start to finish of your route, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do it, because it does need data, But same thing would be if you're trying to send pictures or text messages or something like that, and you can't do it. Well, then
I got you.
Do that.
Well, good deal. Hey, can we take a short break, Tim? You good to hang on for a minute for me?
Yeah,
all right. Well, appreciate it. We got Tim Wasmer with SnowScapes here. We'll be right back with more Profit Time here on Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station. Don't you go anywhere. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. And speaking of Cress, I want to give you guys a reminder, something new on Turfs Up Radio. You got to go to our website to do it, though. Simply go to turfsupradio.com and sign up for the big give back. event. So basically, what it is, a lot of our sponsors and whatnot here on Turfs Up Radio, they're we're going to have a lot of different things to give away. You do have to be listening live to get it, but if you're drawn, but simply go to turfsupradio.com. If you look at the homepage there, scroll down a little bit, you're going to see the big give back event. Be sure to sign up for that. That's going to be starting very, very soon. So Tim, welcome back. Welcome back. We've got Tim Wasmer with us with SnowScapes. And Tim, I appreciate you rescheduling with me Monday. Man, my tooth was, me and my tooth were having an argument.
And no worries at all. I get it.
Oh my God. So I was fortunate enough to get into the dentist. And the bad thing is I got to get a damn root canal, but we'll deal with it. So
Yeah.
they got me some antibiotic and it's feeling a lot better, buddy. So again, I hate it to give you such short notice on that, but it progressively got worse over the weekend. And I was like,
No
man,
problem.
I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk, man.
Yeah.
And not to do you justice anyway. So I do appreciate you rescheduling till today for us
Yep.
on that.
Happy to.
But we did get a couple questions from people, and I know we'll go down that road in a minute. I'll hang on to one because it talks about using this outside of the snow season. But let's cover the snow season first, if you don't
Okay.
mind. How does it integrate with weather weather documentation as far as time, temperature, and that stuff? Because I know it's got a really great feature on that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So anytime you record a service in the field, so when your guys are in the field and they're plowing or doing, again, whatever service all year round, that service report that's created within the system, as well as the email, will have the current weather conditions based on that location. So it'll either be based on your location when you log it, or if you don't have service or something like that, this is a situation where it can pull the coordinates of the address that you're servicing, and it will put the current weather conditions. So that's going to be temperature, which you can adjust if you want it to be Fahrenheit or Celsius, because I know we got a lot of Canadians that also use the service.
Right.
And so you can adjust that in your settings of your company if you want it Fahrenheit, Celsius, what the precipitation is, and all of that. It just pulls that from the weather service right there of what your current conditions are. So if you're plowing or you're salting, it's going to tell you the temperature, tell you if it was going, whatever the case is.
And I mean, the importance for you guys that may or may not be tracking, what time you got there, what time you left, what you did while you were there. Was it plowing application? Was it simply a de-icing pre-treat, or, what it was? The importance of all that documentation. Matter of fact, I just did a video in a Profit Circle on that as well. This software collects that data for you. You input. And Tim, I'll let you explain it, but you input, hey, we made a de-icing application. We plowed it and put an ice melter down. Does it give you the flexibility to do the, hey, we used calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, or, liquid. How does that work with it, Tim?
Yeah. Any material that you specifically use in your business, you can set up. So it has just the standard, salt and bag salt as kind of the default materials that are already in there for you. But if you want to use liquid brine, if you want to use calcium chloride, magnesium, whatever you want to use, sand, for some of those guys that use that, you can program any material you want to track, and it will put it in there for you, and then you can start tracking it that way as well. And you can add a new service if you want. If there's a specific type of service that you do for your business or for a specific property, you can track that as well.
Talking about tracking, Tim, I just thought of this. I don't think I've ever asked you this about the software, but it might be a neat input if it doesn't do it. And this is something that doesn't happen very often at all. But if somebody declines service, I mean, that would be a really cool feature. Hey, client declined service. and the time it so it can be time and date stamped. So if they have a slip and fall, we actually carry sign off sheets in our trucks
Mhm.
for that. Where if somebody would decline service, we don't want them to get selective memory and say, "Well, I don't remember doing that," and then they have somebody fall. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that might
So
that might be a neat little feature if it doesn't do it, or does it already do it?
yeah, you can set it up to do that. Absolutely. And if you have like if you need because in that situation what you're referring to with snow and ice would be a sign off for release of liability, right?
Yes, yes,
So you're gonna actually need a document that they can sign. So you still might need that sign off sheet in your truck for those one off scenarios. And then what you would do is you could take a picture of that release of liability and upload that right into Snowscape. So now you have a digital record of it. So if you did lose that paper or it fell out of the truck window or fell under your snowy boots
yeah.
while you're,
Get out
uh,
the door and the wind blows it, and there it goes. Right.
we
Uh,
all plow with our windows down, don't we?
yeah, that's right.
That's how we do it. Um, and yeah, so you could digitally save that within Snowscapes, and now you have that record of that sign off sheet. We also have it set up default for lawn service in the lawn season if there's a skip.
Okay.
Hey, the client didn't want it, it didn't grow this week. We only did a half cut, we did a full cut, or we skipped it because it wasn't, we're in dry season or whatever, and you can set that up as well. So that way you're
Right.
recording it because we get those calls in the green season, switching slightly on you of, hey, why, guys haven't been here in a week. Oh no, they came this week. It's just the lawn didn't need it.
Right.
They on this day. Here's a picture of it. It wasn't growing. We'll be back next week.
The measuring tool that's in that is an outstanding feature.
Mm-hmm.
And again, for you guys listening to us that may be new to the snow and ice, and you've never measured a lot, uh, strictly from, even if you don't want it, from the opportunity to determine how much ice melter you're going to need to run a route, which is important to know, but a liability standpoint. And Tim, I don't mind talking on it, but you can, if you don't mind. You're our expert here today, right?
Yep.
The liability of applying the correct volume of a certain type of material at a temperature based on the square footage that you're servicing. And
Yeah.
so, go ahead.
And you can, I mean, it even starts with that contract, right?
Yeah,
So creating this site map and getting your measurements and putting that in your contract, you can export. You create that document on it on Snowscape. Even when you're doing a bid, you haven't landed it yet. You can put the property into Snowscape. You can create this map, and you can save it, and then you can export it as a PDF and attach it right to your contract. So that way, it's crystal clear. This is the area of sidewalks we're doing, the square footage we're doing, acreage, whatever info you want to include on your contract. Which, like you said, the more the better for liability. So that way they can say, oh, you didn't service this sidewalk over here. Well, that wasn't in our scope.
right.
And it's crystal clear spelled out on there.
So it
And
sounds like this is crazily customizable to everybody's properties.
oh, absolutely. Yeah. And no matter what you do,
Yeah.
whatever trip you do, whatever property you do, wherever it is, you can customize it. And if there's something that isn't in the defaults, it's not a parking lot, it's not a municipal sidewalk, it's not a building sidewalk. It's, I don't know what it would be, but a gravel area.
A gravel area, an alley,
Yeah.
I mean, all those things that come into play that, you and I've run across, but these new contractors, they haven't come across all these quote unquote
Yeah.
weird things, that, oh my God, I
Yep.
never thought of that. Well,
Yep.
Tim has, right?
Yep.
Tim and his,
That's the years of experience for you.
yeah, that's right. But, and you touched on it a minute ago from the lawn side, and just to touch base on that just a little bit, not to get off the snowscape side, but is the snowscape, are those sets of or is that set of customers segregated from when you're using this? And that was one of the questions that we had from somebody about 15 minutes ago. The text him was, can it be used in other aspects of your landscaping business? We
Yeah.
want to touch on that for a minute.
Yeah. Yep. So It is set up where there are two seasons. There's the green season and then there's the winter season. And you can toggle back and forth on the admin dashboard as well as on your app. So if you're doing it, so like this time of year, we were just talking about this, right? We're busy doing fall cleanups. Well, we might have snow. Well, now we need to switch from our green season of fall cleanups over to our snow season. You just, there's literally a toggle that has a leaf for green season and a snowflake for winter. You toggle back and forth. If you go on the winter side, it's going to show all of your snow routes and your snow clients and all of that stuff. You go to the green side and it's going to show all of your landscape accounts, your lawn accounts, whatever you have over there. And you can keep those separate, track them separate. So now you're not, jumbling
Right.
up winter routes with your lawn routes. It's totally separate. And if you do service a property year round for both, you can put them in both sides. You don't have to duplicate property. You just, on the settings of that property, you just select this is a landscape service client, this is a snow client, or it's both. And if it's both, it will go on both sides.
All right, easy enough. And then, in snow, a lot of times we've got multiple trips during a snow event to the same location. Do I just, how does the software work? Do I click on it and add to it as one running event, or do I clip on, do I just start over each time that I start another round, as we call it?
Yeah. So, yes. But I'll explain.
Yeah,
However you want to do it,
Okay.
ultimately. But so let's walk through a scenario. You, Wayne, are plowing, and you have 10 properties on your route. You service your properties 1 through 4. You're about to go to your 5th one, and you get a call. Hey, we need to go back to the first one because they had more snow fall over in that area before you finish your route. So now I need to go back. I just finished my 4th property, and then I just click right back to my first one in my route. So you can click out of order, or you can go in order
I see.
as their program. So you can, as the operator, you can select to go out of order, but if you want it to be more mindless, you can go in order. And you
All
can
right.
go back to a property within a shift as many times as you need to.
Okay,
It's just gonna
so I run
service
through
block.
those 10, let's say, Tim. Okay, I run through those 10 properties that I'm servicing, and
Mhm.
based on my cycle time, it's time to give. It's an ongoing snow, right? So
Mhm.
it's time to go back to the first one and check. It's 6 hours later, let's say, or whatever time frame a person's on their scheduling. When I get back, does it when I click back on, hey, I'm back at my first stop again? Am I
Yeah.
adding to that documentation, or does it give me, or does it show it as a total new stop? I guess I really don't know how to ask you the question that I'm asking. If a guy's doing it on paper, they start another sheet. If they're
Yeah.
using SnowScapes, does it just continue? Hey, I was there at 7:05 a.m., but now, hey, it's 4:15 p.m. and I'm back for my second plowing and de-icing, or second check for de-icing.
Every every time you visit a property, whether it's 20 minutes apart or 20 days apart or 2 hours apart, it's going to create a new service log. So every
Okay.
time you do that, it's going to create a new log for you. In your situation that you described, hey, you finished your route of 10 properties, you took a 6 hour break, and then you started your route again. You're just going to do the same exact process of starting the whole route over. And
Okay.
anytime you log a property, whether again it was 6 hours ago or 6 minutes ago, you're going to log that property, submit it, and whenever you hit submit, it creates a service log. So on your Snowscape job history, it'll list every single time that you serviced it, when you serviced it, what you did, your pictures.
Okay. So
That's
I'm
what's
out
on.
running a route and I complete my job, or all of them or one of them. When I complete it, does it then send it back to a cloud-based system that says, okay, this is what Wayne did at ABC company? And then
Mm-hmm.
can the admin side of that begin dealing with that, with
Yep.
that content?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. It'll keep it while you're actively in a route. They'll be able to view you in your active route. or once you complete a route, then they can only view it in property history. But either way, they can always view what you've done in the property history.
Okay.
So if you 1 minute ago or 1 day ago, it always, right when you hit submit, it goes to the property history log on SnowScape. And then now the admin can search in that log for anything that was done if they want to search.
So then this data goes back to your admin staff, and then they can create invoicing from that documentation.
Exactly. Yep. And they can streamline that into an Excel document if they want. They can keep all the pictures right on there. They can resend an email if a new email report needs to be resent for some reason. But yes, your admins can see all of that.
I gotcha. And what's the learning curve for somebody that says, man, this is a good idea, but here, it's November 7th or 8th or whatever date we're on. And, I don't know if I want to have to go through the learning curve here with snow coming pretty soon.
Yeah.
What is the real learning curve, would you say, for a company, Tim?
Our main goal with this was to keep it simple, the old kits, right? Keep it simple, stupid. And I think we've done a very good job with that. I've had many, operators in the field that didn't have a smartphone before. And we're like, hey, we need you to use a smartphone to log your stuff. This is their first exposure to using a smartphone and their first app. And they figured it out without me even walking them through it.
Okay.
Because it's start, service, take pictures, submit. All you do is hit the next button every time. So the guys in the field, it's really easy.
Okay.
As long as they're doing it, right? If they put their phone in their pocket and they never take it out, well, that's not something you can control.
Right.
But
yeah,
as far as that, if you're trying to, very, very easy in the field to use.
I got you.
As far as setting up a company, I can get a company set up with someone in 15 minutes on the phone.
It's really that simple.
Yeah. You bulk import your properties. You put them in, you start recording your routes, routing them, and away you go. Obviously, you can spend more time, creating all the site maps and all of that stuff, right? You can't do that in 15 minutes.
Right.
To manually do that stuff. But
names, addresses, you're up and rolling pretty quickly with it.
Yeah, names, addresses, all of those, and then starting to route them. You can do that, within 15 minutes.
Now, how much access? Okay, let's say I'm a driver for you guys, okay, and I've got my route on my phone. How much access do I have to the entire company data, or do I only have access to the jobs on my route unless you move another one to my route?
So every driver within your company will be able to see all of the routes on the route. So we do that by design, right? You might have route 1 that's assigned to you, but during a snowstorm, you might need to jump over to route 3 to help somebody.
I need to pick up something for somebody else. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So we do that by design. So that's the employee level. That's the baseline level. The other levels which you have when you create an employee, you can give 2 levels of permission. So the next level would be allowing to view active routes. So I alluded to, or we talked about how you can see where people are mid-storm. Mm-hmm. Active routes page on a map, see what they've done. I can give that permission to anyone in my company. So if I want, and I do that for my guys, for example, because I want them to be able to see where the other people are while they're out plowing without having to call and text them.
Okay.
So if they want to know, hey, where is Joe? I don't have to call and text. I can pull it up. Oh, he's right around the corner. Well, now I might call him and say, hey, dude, I'm coming over to help you. Or, hey, I need to grab a gas can from you. Whatever.
Right. Whatever it is.
You can. You don't have to do that, but you can give your guys. We do that too. Our salt, we'll have a different salt truck than a plow truck, right? So I want my salt guys to be able to see where are my plow guys at, what has been done. So that way he can start servicing right behind them in real time instead of having to call them and be like, hey, did you finish this one yet? Did you do that one yet? So you can see that. And then the third one is admin permission. Admins can do anything. They can add properties, delete properties, create site maps, create routes, view job history, any and all of that stuff. Add employees, delete employees.
So then I think the way this is sounding, the way you're explaining it, Tim, if if I'm within the parent company, if you will, I've got access to all the accounts. If I'm a subcontractor, what do they have access only to the accounts they're servicing for you?
Yeah. So what you do with a subcontractor is you can create a different company under your parent company.
Okay.
So now that creates like a branch under there
Uh-huh.
that would only have the properties that that subcontractor is doing. And now that subcontractor can only view their accounts. So
Gotcha.
that's a situation where you don't want a sub maybe to be able to view all of your in-house stuff, just the four properties that he's subbing for you, for
Sure.
example.
Sure. All right.
And then you would have the ability to still view the history, search, manage all of that, and you can do that all under the platform.
All right. Can I ask you to hold on for a minute while we take a short break, Tim?
No problem.
All right. Thank you. Again, this is Tim Wasmer with SnowScapes. We'll be right back with more Profit Time here on Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station. Crank it up. Yes, indeedy. And speaking of cranking it up, the world famous Jeopardy Thomas just walked in our office door. She's been on maternity leave and will be coming back to us Monday. We're looking so forward to that. Oh my God, she's looking good after just having a baby. I know. Oh my God. So, hey, we missing your customers are asking about you. So, but hey, good to see you, Jeopardy. Good to see you. And yeah, honest to God, you're looking really good and hard after a baby. So she's got two daughters now, and yeah, glad to have. We'll be glad to have her back Monday. So, with that being said, we are back online here with Tim Wasmer with SnowScapes, and Tim, I guess this is a good time to transition into a little bit of what SnowScapes does, other than snow tracking. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and you touched on that a little bit earlier about taking care of you. You can switch over to another season within the software, and tell us a little bit about that. Are we tracking mowing? We tracking mulching? What do we track? What else can Snowscapes do for us?
Yeah. So again, I mean, designed by a landscaper for landscapers, right? Like that's kind of one of our taglines here.
Yeah, it makes a difference, doesn't it? When you're not
It
just
does.
a developer putting something together, it's like our products are profits unlimited. You know, when you actually do what somebody else is doing, you can give them
Mhm.
something more dynamic.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
So it's exactly that. And we design the nuts and bolts of it are all the same, across the board, how you record things and all of that. But you can record anything in the green industry and beyond. Honestly, we have a couple companies that are not landscapers that use us for, some HVAC or plumbing or irrigation. But
right?
anything you want to do. I mean, irrigation, I would still call it green industry, but so we have it. I mean, I have my install guys record what they do every day. Granted, they're not routing typically. Typically, they're at
Right.
one job full day. Um, but if they're doing hedge trimming, mulching, patio installation, retaining wall, trees, whatever we do, I actually like it for the hardscape stuff because as they go through a job, they're running lines underneath the patio, drainage pipes, conduit, etc. I have them document all that with pictures and record it in SnowScape. So now, if a client ever needs to know where something is, we can access those pictures. They also, again, get sent to that client every day. Lots of times the clients aren't home when we finish a job for the day, so we can't give them an update. Well, now they get that email. This is what was done. I love it as the owner because I don't have to talk to my crew if I'm not at the shop when they finish for the day. I don't
Right.
have to bother. I can just look at their report, what they did. They leave notes for me, take pictures. I can see exactly what the progress is. Sometimes I catch things on there. So yeah, anything from hardscape, softscape installation, drainage, grading,
So they're
excavation.
using the software year round is what it amounts to. It's not like
Absolutely.
something but it can be used if hey, I just want to use it for snow because I love the fact that it's simple and I'm not carrying around my own laptop or I don't have to, take it and do it on a spreadsheet, blah, blah, blah. Guys do it a lot of different ways, and,
Mhm.
and whatever works, you make it work. But sounds like you guys have made it work simplistically for all seasons of the year,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm a big believer in systems and continuity for your business, right? If
Yeah.
you have a different software that your client or that your employees punch in and punch out for their payroll, and a different way that they clock their snow work, and a different way that they do their lawn mowing, and a different way that they do their landscape installation, you got four different systems
Yeah.
that could all stop, right? And for the price that Snowscape costs, which is very, very cheap and economical, why not keep it the same?
I
And
got you.
that's just kind of how I do it. Now you got to train
What
your
what
guys.
does pricing look like for the software? If you
So
want to share
yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely. So there's a free version. Everything, all the features come on the free version. You just are going to get one login. So those solo guys out there that are just them and they haven't, they're working on growing their business and creating the systems, start with us. It's free. You can get it. You can route all your stuff, even if it's just you that's recording it. And you're thinking, oh, I don't need to. Well, you do.
Yeah.
But
That's
just
right.
put it in there and record it. Because again, what happens when you're sick and you need to have a friend help you with your route? Well, now it's all right there for them. Or again, as you grow. So, and again, having digital records. So free for one user. It's $11.99 per month per user. So if you have two users, you would just pay for two. But then once you get past, kind of those first initial smaller companies, then we have tiers. So the first tier is up to 20 users. So basically that would be, and that's $89 a month. So once you get past paying for 6 users, you're better off getting the first tier to give you up to 20 users. The next tier would be up to 100 users,
I
and the
gotcha.
next 300.
So
So again, most companies fall into our first tier, which is called our team subscription, and that gives you up to 20 users. That's $89 a month for
I
20
gotcha.
users.
Now, is the data that's stored, is it stored on iCloud or is it, or do I have to take that data from once I run that route and then I get it back in my office and then I store it on my computer, or how's the data stored and how long do I have access to it through Snowscapes?
So it is stored in the Snowscape server forever. So as long as you have an account, you can access it. And even guys that only use it in the winter, I say don't cancel your account. Just go back, downgrade your subscription to the free plan. Get rid of your extra users. Keep your main login. So that way your account is active. So you
Oh,
can.
and everything's there for you. Yeah.
Yep, it's for you for looking back. Because we all know those slip and falls. They don't come in February. You hear about them in August,
Yeah,
and then you have
that's right. And I think that's a very good point for you guys listening to us that may not know about that. Find out what the statute of limitation is in your state, and that's how long you need to keep those records and have them on hand. And
Yep.
I know us specifically, we take the time and service provided, and that becomes part of our invoicing to our client. Hey,
Yep.
we were there at 2 a.m., plowed and applied magnesium chloride or treated product or whatever it is we did. It's all in the weather conditions and that because,
Mm-hmm.
hey, it's knowledge and transparency to them, but it's also our documentation for if we have a slip and fall. So, and that's going to be different from state to state, what that limitation is. But how does somebody get a hold of y'all, Tim? I can't believe we're up on an hour already, but God, it always goes so fast, man. How does somebody reach out to y'all?
So our website is mysnowscapes.com. So www.snowscape, just like it sounds, SNOWSCAPE.com. all of our contact information on there. You can create an account on there. Like I said, you can create a free account. So, go ahead, create one, download it, check it out. We'll reach out to you if you do. But also our contact information is on there as well. So there are our emails, our phone number. We're easy to get a hold of. We're happy to help. Like I said, we designed this to help other companies. My email is also really easy. It's support@mysnowscape.com. I kind of do all the customer support stuff. And then my business partner's name is Jason. His email is info@mysnowscape.com. Again, that's all on our website, which is mysnowscape.com. So you can check all that out. We're happy to talk, happy to help you out, get your business set up, make sure you're utilizing everything to the best you can. And, we want everyone to succeed. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you doing a presentation for us too in the Profit Circle. And I'd love to get you back in there.
I'd love to again, because like I said, we got some of those new features with the site maps and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really pumped about those. Those are really cool features and really powerful. So
good deal. Happy. Looking forward to it. Well, hey, Tim, thanks a lot. And I hope you guys have a great day up there. And if you get some snow, man, you got the software to keep it tracked up, right?
Yes. Yeah, that we do. We're ready for it.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Well, hey, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye. That was some great insight, to say the least, and I mean, I know you guys that are listening to us to plow commercially, it's always good to hear about new technology and how you can implement it within your business. And, Tim, I've been, like I said, been talking to him now a couple years, and they've obviously made additions to their product to help each and every one of us be better, and make it easier. That's the thing. It really is easy. You guys heard about the pricing. Again, it's very affordable, and for a single truck operator where it's free, I mean, no brainer. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I mean, it's not a question of why. It really is just a question of why not. So, hey, good deal, good product. You guys certainly reach out to them. Again, you can reach them at their website, mysnowscape.com. That's mysnowscape.com. And if you want to email Tim directly, you guys know how to get a hold of him. Like he said, it's easy. It's easy. Just simply go to support.mysnowscape.com. So with that being said, we're going to wrap it up. And you guys have a great weekend. And I hope you have a safe weekend. And for you guys getting some snow this weekend. Good deal. Good deal. Nothing like a good, quick start to the season. So hope you guys make some money this weekend as well. If you're doing snow, I know for us, it's probably just going to be one of those snows that you look at, it's one of those non-pavement snows. That pavement temperature, I think, is going to hurt a lot of us. But I know, some of the forecasts are, several inches as you get up into Michigan and Wisconsin, over that way a little bit, and over toward Ohio, northern Indiana. So that might be something that's going to require a little bit of service just because of the volume. The snow may overcome the pavement temperature. So with that being said, you guys have a great weekend. Be safe. Remember, profit's not a dirty word. And stay tuned all day long here on Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station.